Hey everyone, so today's workout is a pretty simple body weight one that is amazing for beginners. This workout is, I think, 5 exercises, circuit format, so one right after the other. But the reason I like it is because it really focuses on boosting mobility as well as engaging muscles in specific positions. So it's an awesome one when you're just starting out, you're kind of learning how to actively contract your muscles. There is a lot of isometric holds as well as a lot of mobility in your sticking spots like your shoulders and your hips. So we're going to start off with a squat with pause. So taking the squat position, you're going to drop those hips backward, pause at the bottom for 1, 2, 3, push it up. The reason that I like squats with pauses is because it forces you to contract your glutes in that sticking position, which is the bottom part of your squat. You're driving your knees out as you push up. Make sure when you're squatting, you're sinking backwards. So one of the biggest problems people have is that they initiate the movement forwards, and you do want to stick out your bum, sink backwards, drag those knees out to fire up your outer glutes, and push up. Make sure the weight is evenly spread through at the feet also. And up, you have 4 more. 4, making sure you're keeping a nice neutral back. 4, 2, 3, 4, pushing straight up, last one. 4, and then we are coming into reverse planks with a leg raise, if you can do it. So your reverse plank helps open up and get a little bit more movement through the shoulders. So you do have to open up your chest and your shoulders. And from there, you need to squeeze your bum. So that's what's going to raise your hip. So coming into your reverse plank. Now, hand position. I tend to go sideways just because my shoulders, my wrists don't like to rotate that way. So do what feels comfortable. Lift your hips up so you're nice and flat. If you can, slipping on my shirt. If you can hold it here, that is awesome. If you want to take it a step further and work a bit more glute and hamstring, you're going to squeeze the glute of the leg that's staying on the floor so it maintains hip extension and raise the leg. Trying to keep a nice stable torso, so you're trying not to dip every single time. You're trying to stay up, getting a nice shoulder opener, chest opener, and raise the leg. Okay, squeezing the glutes the whole time. Awesome. And then you are coming into stationary lunges, so a great one to work the front leg as well as stretch out the back leg. So find your lunge position, which means we are fairly far apart from front leg to back leg, but my hips are staying squared, so I'm not opening up towards that back leg. I'm up on the ball of the foot and the toes of that back leg, but I keep the weight evenly distributed in this front foot as I drop the hip down, push it up, drop the knee down, push it up. Couple things I don't want to see is the lean forward into the front ball of the foot. You do want to keep a nice upright posture and go down and up. So you should feel stretched down this back quad. Remember to bend your back knee. It does come into flexion here. 3, 2. You should feel the glute and the hamstring, this front knee firing up. 1. And switching spots. The other thing I want you to focus on is keeping this knee driven out from your hip. So you're using your outer hip to pull your knee into position versus letting it cave inwards. And keeping your breath. 3, 2, 1. If you have a mat, grab it. We're going to come to the floor for a dead bug. So leg on your back. We want to come into a pelvic tilt, so bringing those hips down towards the floor, so flattening our low back, and then taking our ribs and crunching them into our hips. So you're creating a lot of pressure between your ribs and your hips, maintaining that pressure as you raise your limbs. Should be hard. If it's not hard, you're not in the proper position, and from there you're just going to extend an arm and a leg. With this exercise, it is not about how low you can go, right? We just don't want that back arch. So we're holding in that tucked position while we remove limbs. If it's very challenging, just move one limb and start from there and work your way up to moving both. Okay, I'm obviously a little bit used to these by now, but they still burn. So like I said, if you're not feeling your core muscles burn or engage, something is wrong positioning-wise. You need to retweak your tilts. So creating pressure between your hips and your ribs. Good. And then we have one more exercise. We are going to rock in the circuit, and that's a Superman with low fly. So again, if you have a mat, it's a little bit more beneficial. You're going to lay on your tummy. Take your palms up with your thumbs facing your thighs. Put your feet together and squeeze your inner thighs, looking down to the ground as you exhale to come up. Turn your palms towards the floor and then out to get a nice big shoulder roll and come down. So I like this one because it forces your shoulders to move and open up your chest. You're squeezing your glutes. You're not just arching your back, you're squeezing your glutes, you're squeezing your legs together to get the inner thighs fired up. And you're keeping your neck in a neutral place. You're not cocking it up backwards. Go 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that is your mini circuit for the day. So I'll list the exercises below the video here. They are very, very simple. They're geared towards beginners. Obviously, you can progress them a little bit. But the point of this workout is to focus on muscle engagement. So really activating those necessary muscles in the sticking spots of the exercise. So don't just go through the motions, don't bounce your squats. Feel the muscles engage. Get some mobility and some movement into your shoulders and hips and make future workouts a lot easier.